And we are back, folks. Welcome back. Episode 12 of the Mecca of Banter. I'm sorry, guys. We're very, very flustered right now. It's been a very tough, 30 minutes since we got here. Somebody ran out, took Butch's sleeves, and we cannot find him anywhere.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, man.
You know what, dude? You look good. You look great.
Hey,
well,
man.
welcome back, folks. We got a jam-packed episode today. We're talking Champions League. We're talking Europa League. We're talking Prem. We're talking Euros. We're talking Copa America. We're talking Nations League. If you're driving, buckle in. If you're watching, grab some popcorn. Here we go. We got to start it off, Butchie. We have to. As much as we don't want to.
Say it.
Congratulate the Chelsea Blues on. We're not cheersing. None of
Not cheersing that.
none of that.
No,
Nick,
I learned.
But congratulations, Nick. That was an unbelievable final. Unreal to watch. Let's get your thoughts, man.
Thank you, boys. I truly appreciate it. After a long year of you guys consistently doubting the Blues, we pulled off an upset. I say that, but I will give Dobes credit. He did bet Chelsea at the end of it.
Ooh, what a bet that was.
That was a nice bet he
I
made
was sitting there running around the house let's go.
No, but I can't even put it into words, the feeling. And one of the biggest things that I think I realized from the whole experience was afterwards, of course, I had some drinks in me. We just won the Champions League final. I'm with Dobes, and he looks over at me, and he goes, "You're now a fan." And right when he said it to me, I first was like, "Oh, screw you. I've been a fan for 2 years. Eat shit." And then I really stopped and thought about it. And I was like, he's right. I finally understand what it's like to win and to have the club represent a group of people who are fans of them, and for those group of people to be so invested in something so strange.
For the first time, your club's the best club in the world.
Exactly. And Dobe said it perfectly again. He followed it up with, "You're going to be chasing that feeling for the rest of your life."
100%.
And he is 100% right. Watching the game, I could have thrown up at any point in time. I was so nervous.
I was drunk watching. I could have thrown up as well.
But I mean, it was surreal. I thought we played very well. I think Tuchel had a masterclass and outcoached Pep. I think another thing that's huge with it, and just diving into just the whole Tuchel, because one, I think he did an incredible job with this team. He came in mid-season, stuck to a plan of what he wanted, and that plan worked out. I think the fact that he was in the Champions League final the year previously, Dobes brought this up before the game, was huge. That experience alone, I think, could have possibly won us the Champions League. He knew what it was like to be down and the changes that needed to be made during that. Or he didn't make the correct chances last year, and he learned from it. And now this year, he got everything right. The substitutions, he got perfect. I think the starting lineup, yes, people are going to hate on Timo Werner, and yes,
I
people.
just wish Pulisic would have started.
I agree. I agree.
But
at the end of the day, we won the game with what he produced. Timo Werner was probably one of the main reasons we scored the goal in the first place, with his run pulling Ruben Diaz and Kai having a wide open goal. And let me just say, Mason Mount, I think he is a generational talent now. I think he's at the level of Phil Foden. You guys may agree or disagree, but I think he is going to be a Chelsea legend. Played incredible ball to Kai. Kai's 21 years old in the Champions League final, and he touches it past the goalie to score. My favorite part about it, I don't know if you guys watched. I think I pointed out with Dobes. So Kai's 21 again, a youngster. Champions League final, he puts that ball in the wide open net. The man doesn't watch the ball go in. The ball's halfway in the goal, halfway to the goal, and he turns to go celebrate. And I'm just like, oh my God, the nuts on this kid.
That reminds me of a goal against Eureka about 8 years ago.
Of course, he's got to bring up old.
I saw it.
Que pasa? No, but I mean, I could go on and on. The Christian coming on, being the first American to play, first male American to play in the Champions League final, and then to get minutes and win the game. I just
should have scored too.
He definitely should have scored.
I would have. I'm not a Chelsea fan by any means, but if that would have gone in, I was running around the house. I would have celebrated like no other.
That would have been huge, man.
Yeah. And I wanted to, a fact from the whole experience for me and being a Chelsea fan and how awesome it was, I do want to dive a little bit deeper in just the specifics of the game and talk about where do we think City went wrong? Because at the end of the day, City I'm not going to say that. But at the end of the day, people really thought City was going to dominate the game and Chelsea had no shot. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on where did Pep go wrong and why was it, I'm not going to say it was one-sided, but why was Chelsea able to come out with the victory at the end of the day?
We have the same opinion on it. It's one thing. I'm just going to let him go. I'm going to let him go with it.
So the first thing I will say is I will credit Tuchel in some retrospective here.
Yep.
He got it right, and they stuck to their game plan to a T as to what he wanted, right?
Yep.
Whatever he said in that pregame talk, the players did it.
Yep.
First of all, the defenders for Chelsea, incredible.
Oh my gosh!
Even after
the amount
losing
of blocked shots we had was
Azpilicueta,
absurd.
Class, Rudiger, his block on Foden saved the game in the first half.
Wild.
Oh, Chilwell had a couple blocks. Asby on the line. Oh my gosh!
Reece James had Sterling in his pocket.
I still can't believe that he went with Sterling.
I know, but Dobes and I have the same opinion. Pep. The thing about him is he's the best in the world, but one thing he's notorious for in certain big games he's coached is he overthinks it. And what he did wrong was he played his best attacking team he probably could have, minus Aguero, you could argue. He didn't play Aguero. He didn't start him. But he took out his base.
His spine.
Yeah, he had Gundogan playing holding.
By not playing a defensive midfielder, we talked about Rodri last podcast, and we talked about how important he is to City at doing the simple things, reading the game, snuffing out counters, passing well, moving
Setting
well.
the pace.
He didn't play, and Fernandinho didn't play, and them moving Gundogan back did not let Gundogan do what he's been doing best all season, and that's getting in the box, creating chances, scoring goals.
Yep.
So with him playing deeper, it was like, well, now we're going to sacrifice you, and we're going to play Bernardo. First of all, Bernardo Silva.
Bro.
Why did he play?
Oh my goodness.
He's been very hit or miss all season.
So I watched it with my Daniel Eberle, who's in the Mecca, and I looked at him and I was like, where's Bernardo Silva at halftime? I was like, I haven't seen him on the ball. Like, what has he been doing? And he was like, he's playing.
He
was literally like, he was like, I didn't even know he was in the starting lineup.
It almost seemed like, in a way, and I know it's not true, but like Pep was like trolling the world. He's like, I can do it with this side. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely.
I don't know what he was doing.
But it's just like, the Rodri Fernandinho thing. When you have a player like Mason Mount and you have like a Conte who's everywhere.
I was going to say, we haven't even talked about Conte.
Well, yeah, he's a whole other subject, how he played. But just the fact that, Pep knew Conte was going to play. Pep knew Mount's going to play.
Pep could have guessed our starting lineup.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why him leaving out Rodri and Fernandinho, like, that's a whole different game, in my opinion, just with that one player. Take out the Silva, take out the Sterling. That changes the entire complexion of how that game went, 100%.
Yeah. Another thing that I thought was really interesting, and I don't even know if I want to go down this route with you guys, but we kind of talked about it recently, was I do not think Ruben Diaz had a good game at all during that Champions League
I don't think
final.
he had a bad game, though.
There was a lot of, we could have had 3 or 4 goals. Timo missed 2 sitters, and both of the times that Timo was open and in front of goal, it was supposed to be Ruben Diaz marking him. And instead, he was going into the space and not man mark. I don't know. But I just thought it was very interesting that probably in one of the most important games of his career so far, he didn't show out and he didn't play well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that the whole argument with Van Dijk thing.
It's not an argument.
I know. I'm just saying.
One more thing I want to touch on with Pep. One thing that surprised me, and I know last podcast we spoke about Zinchenko, and he's a good player, but what didn't make sense to me is all season long, the best fullback in the Premier League voted was João Cancelo.
I know.
And he didn't play.
It's almost like we knew Pep was going to play Zinchenko.
So
it's just like I could feel it. It's
because
just
he's a lefty, yes, but like Cancelo has played left back all season basically in the Prem, and he lit it up.
And Zinchenko did not play well at all.
I don't think Zinchenko
Nobody for City played
I
great.
don't think he was great. So like
voted in spells.
Yeah.
But
that's another thing. It's just like this guy was the best fullback in the Premier League, and you don't play him in the biggest game of your season. I get him not. I get Kyle Walker playing. Kyle Walker,
absolutely.
Kyle Walker's a beast.
Oh my God, Kyle Walker saved them a couple goals.
He's
with
so
CP
fast.
on the counter. Oh my goodness,
But
he's so fast.
Pep, man, like I love you, brother, but dude,
He didn't have.
you
didn't
didn't get it right.
to
You
me,
didn't get it right.
To me, it's like when you look at this, and I love the fact that City didn't win as a United fan, but it's like you look at it, it's like, what more could Pep ask for in a team to get it done?
Yeah.
Like, it's a criticism on Pep now. It's like if you look at by 11, their bench, it's the best in the world.
My gosh.
How much money they've spent to get to this point, and they finally get over the hump, get over a semifinal, get to the final. And then he does that. It's just like, I'm not going to say that Pep's not a great coach, but to me, it's like, he's got to take some heat for that. Like,
Absolutely.
are you kidding me? I think I could have managed that 11 and won that game.
Oh, I think if they don't win the Prem and he does that, I think he's gone.
So I follow this Spanish news or soccer reporter on Twitter, and right after the game, like maybe an hour after the game, he said he was outside the stadium, and the fans were absolutely going off to this reporter about Pep, and they weren't saying they want him sacked. They were just furious at the lineup.
Yeah,
they were furious at the lineup. They were like, we don't understand why he did it. Like, it just doesn't make sense to us. And the guy was like, Pep's not going to get sacked. There's no way. But I'm saying, like, you got to get, as he said, you got to get some heat. You're going to get heat from your fan base.
He's been like exempt from criticism for a while because City. I mean, this has been the biggest thing is the Champions League, but he's been exempt for criticism this whole entire year because of how good they've been. And it's like the one time where he can get over the
finals.
Hump, 2 finals. So I don't know. Enough about City in my opinion. Like not even because of that, but it's just because like when you look at Chelsea, it's like you guys were so good on the day.
Absolutely.
Like N'Golo Kante, all over the internet, all over everywhere is getting Ballon d'Or shouts now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. One person we haven't even mentioned is Kante, and he played incredible. He was all over the pitch. I think
favorite man in football.
Absolutely. How can you hate the guy? You can't hate the guy.
He's
probably like the nicest dude to ever exist, right? I just now the whole Ballon d'Or shout. I'm always going to say, yeah, he deserves. I don't know if he necessarily deserves to win it, but I definitely think he should be in the conversation. I think players like him need to be focused on more when it comes to the Ballon, kind of like what we were talking about with how defenders don't get enough credit. I don't think defensive center mids get enough credit at all because if you look at his stats, I found this out the other day, Conte had 0 goals this year. 0. In the Prem and in all competitions, he had no goals for Chelsea. But he's arguably probably our best player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just won the Champions League, and we're the best team in the world.
Him going from at Leicester, Premier League title,
Chelsea,
switching to Chelsea.
title.
It's like FA Cup title, Premier League title, France, World Cup title, Chelsea, Champions League title. Like,
what else can you ask for?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can argue, it's individual seasons, and in one season they only won one thing. But if you look at his career in the past 5 years,
he's a big piece of all of those.
Oh my God, he's the most important in all of those. I believe. Maybe not France because of Paul Pogba.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So let me ask, Conte in. If we're talking Ballon d'Or, would you put him, Messi, Lewandowski in the final three?
Yes, I truly believe. I think he would be third. I think it should go. Well, the only person is I would
Bruno.
Think of,
Stop the cap.
The only person I would think about is Harry Kane.
That's what I saw. The same thing. I saw that.
Because Tottenham was shit, but the man led the Premier League in goals and assists.
He can't because they won nothing.
Yeah, I hate to say it. Trophies play a role.
Trophies help.
I know. I agree. I'm just saying though that's absurd.
Yeah.
But yes, I definitely think Conte should be in the argument for top 3. Absolutely.
Could you imagine him there?
Oh my God, it would be the best. The best thing
that movie sitting there with like the biggest smile on his face. It's like I don't know if you guys have seen the interview. It's an interview with Conte, and it's like him sitting with Ronaldo and Messi, and they go to interview him, and it's like he's smiling and he's so nervous, and they're just like, Conte, how is it to be here? He's like, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for letting me be here. And it was just the funniest,
what a guy!
What a guy!
Moment ever.
I hope he never leaves. I really want him to stay a Chelsea legend for a while. But another thing I wanted to point out that we didn't talk about, just kind of backtracking back to Tuchel, and I think once again Dobes told me this. Tuchel's first time meeting Abramovich, who's the club owner, was after the Champions League final, after we had just won. And I just kind of want to emphasize that I don't think Tuchel's going anywhere for a little bit. I think he's probably going to renew his deal, and he's going to be Chelsea's head coach for a little bit.
Everything I've read is that Abramovich is going to back him this summer too. Like it sounds like he's going to get some players.
Yeah, I mean we're rumored for Lukaku, but just going back, the fact that you meet your boss for the first time and you're giving him the most important trophy in the world, I think is incredible.
It's wild.
And it's like written in the stars that it should have happened. Also, last thing, I mean, we can talk about it more if we want, but I think we have to mention, I do truly feel bad for Kevin De Bruyne. The incident during that game, Now, some people are going to say it was blatant and it should have been a red and he was leading with his shoulder. I don't necessarily agree with all that, but I do truly feel bad for the man because at the end of the day, yes, I'm happy we're Champions League winners, but I wanted to beat the best city, and I don't think him off the field is the best city. So I truly do feel bad, and the Euros are coming up, so like I once again that sucks.
I think he'll be healthy for those.
But I heard, isn't it broken orbital bone and like broken nose?
The issue is just going to be him breathing.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean, through the nose. So hopefully he's back. That's one of those bang like. If you're a Chelsea fan,
he's trying to stop the give and go.
It's 50-50. If you're a City fan, he's leaning the shoulder in. Like, you see the Roberto Martinez, who's obviously the Belgian manager, and he's
always
it's red.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? I see it 100% both ways. I do feel bad for him. That's because he's world class.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He belongs in the biggest moments. He's worked his life to be in the biggest moments. Like, you feel for him.
Because we were just talking about how Pep, like I feel for Pep not winning a or not. I don't feel, but like Pep hasn't won a Champions League. But like people are forgetting that like Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have a Champions League. The man wants a Champions League. I bet. He's been on all these incredible teams, and then he's in the final and he gets hurt. I felt
hard
for
it
him.
is to get there too.
Absolutely,
Like,
I felt for him.
It was hard for.
And same thing with Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I felt for Thiago. Yeah, he hasn't been at Chelsea for that long, and he's not a club legend, but the man wanted to win a Champions League. Yeah, he won it, but he didn't. He had to get pulled off the field, so I felt bad for him as well.
I think the last point, at least I want to make about Chelsea is, I don't know how you feel about it, but you have to give Frank Lampard
Absolutely.
just a little bit of credit.
You say little, I say a lot.
He got him through the group stages.
I say,
you know what I mean?
I say it's like, okay, I don't want to say that. But the team that Tuchel put out on the field was all brought in by Frank pretty much.
Well, it was
yes,
Abramovich trusted Frank. Frank got the players he wanted. Yeah.
Yes, Frank couldn't figure out it spurts ways to win with that side, and Tuchel was able to. But at the end of the day, Mason Mount's Frank's boy. Like all the people that he brought in were in the Champions League final. So, and not to mention, he coached the beginning half of those games. So I think he deserves a lot of credit. He got himself a medal. So cheers, Frank. And I bet you he was elated when we won. So super excited about that. Also, I mean, we can cross the T's and dot the I's with this one, but just going back to Christian and what it means to be an American soccer player nowadays is incredible.
Him or his dad telling him to swing the medal around for
so
the
they could show the USA.
So that the USA logo showed on his sweatshirt. It was like, you get chills. It's
absolutely.
Like,
and I'm truly happy that the generations before us, because let's face it, guys, we're out of soccer. We're all old. We're retired. But the generations to come have someone like that to look up to.
It's possible.
And I think that's incredible.
People know now it's possible to play for the best team in the world in the biggest game in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And win. So I just wanted to give Christian another big shout out for what he's doing to football in America. It's truly awesome. Okay. We can move on from one of our squads and let's talk about someone else's. There was another final that happened while we were away, and it was the Europa League final. Dobes.
All right, let's banter.
How did that end up?
Turn me up.
So
it ended with me not wanting to talk about Manchester United for a very long time. And if this podcast is made off a group message, and if I can tell you how much shit that I got in a group message in a span of an hour.
Oh my God.
I roasted you, bro.
I didn't sorry, boss, if you listen to this, I didn't get any work done. I was sitting there just like, I have to respond. Like, I got to defend myself somehow. But if you analyze the game, I'll get to Ole in a second, but the players simply, in my opinion, they weren't good enough. Yeah. Like, the best player, in my opinion, is in the whole entire game was either Scott McTominay or Cavani. And in my opinion, when you look at the effort of all the players, we had an 11 on that field. That game against a Villarreal team who's in 7th in La Liga, who's their what is it? I think it's not their first Europa League final. It might be their first Europa League final.
That's their first trophy ever in the club history.
It's their first trophy.
Holy
exactly. And so we put out an 11. That game should have been won comfortably.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think my biggest takeaways from the game are, one, put some fucking respect on Harry Maguire's name.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
Put
a very
some fucking
fair,
respect
that's
on
a fair
on
point.
Harry Maguire's name. He has made Victor Lindelof look 10 times the player he is. Lindelof looked like a donkey.
Yeah,
He literally
that
looked
is
like,
crazy.
I'm not even exaggerating. Like, shout out to Tom, my boy, our boy Tom Garrett. That man looked allergic to defending. Like he really did. And Harry Maguire has made him look like a decent center back for the last, I don't even know how much time, like a whole season. And so he deserves respect. 2, Scott McTominay, that man is red through and through. He played his absolute balls off. For the entire game, he's the only person I can say on United that worked his ass off the entire game. Cavani maybe, but he fell off a little
spurts, bit. Yeah,
there was spurts, but Scott McTominay was absolutely brilliant. And like the final point is, everywhere you see now, is Ole going to stay? Is Ole out? Like everybody gave Ole so much shit, even in our group message. Like he got it wrong, and I will say he did get it wrong in a sense. The 11 he put out, I expected McFred, which is a more defensive. Like we have 2 pivot guys. He played Scotty, who's really a number 8 as a defensive midfielder. We were going for it. Like he was sending the game. It was Rashford, Griezmann, Cavani, Pogba playing his normal center midfield position, Bruno's not, God, fuck, I don't even want to get into it. He was terrible too. But Ole deserves some criticism, but I just want to back him for at least another year.
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is you see so much criticism. And for those listening, it went to 11 PKs. United lost 11-10. David De Gea missed.
The goalie.
The goalie missed the pen to tie the game. And what I said to these guys earlier is Ole's getting all this shit from everybody. It's like, if David De Gea scores and then we somehow go on to win in pens, now all of a sudden Ole's a master tactician. Like
I don't know if you would go that far as master tactician.
But if you're a United fan, are you serious?
Yeah, you're just
Nobody
you don't give
a fuck how Bruno played.
No, you're right.
I don't fucking care how Pogba played.
That's how I
don't
would
care.
feel as well.
I don't care that Lindelof's a donkey. I don't care about any of it. I'm sitting there like, fuck you guys.
You got a trophy.
Same way I'm doing it all year. But that's the biggest thing for me is Ole's not like, he deserves some criticism, but if he doesn't get back to this summer, it's going to be very hard for him to continue his success. Because next year, if he gets backed, we get some players in, we don't win anything, he's gone.
Yeah.
But he has to get back to the summer because right now we don't have a squad that, yes, should have won the Europa League final. And credit to Villarreal because that was fucking unbelievable. But
I think with you guys, the biggest thing is depth.
It's his
huge.
subs. Our options were bringing in.
Brought in Daniel James.
Our options were bringing in Juan Mata, who I love Juan Mata. He's been a brilliant player.
He's past his prime.
Way past his prime. And Dan James, for some pace, but I mean, everybody that's ever listened to this podcast knows my feelings on Dan James. So it's like,
and then Alex Tellez.
that's our 2 subs that
love
we
Tellez.
brought in.
I do too, but
you're not taking off Luke Shaw, no.
But it's like
I
you
was
guys,
shocked.
you look what Chelsea brings off the bench.
Yeah.
You look what City brings off the
Kovacic.
bench. Like it's just
I agree.
There's levels to it.
I agree. Oh, that's and I don't want to go back to this, but I think the reason Chelsea won the Champions League is because of our depth. We were able to compete in all these competitions with different lineups every week, and that's why we won the Champions League.
See, we don't have that right now. If Ole gets it in the summer, I fully believe that Ole can compete for trophies. Like it's one of those. You look at Sir Alex, he took over for United. It wasn't instant success. He took us from the bottom of the league. We rose based on youth. Ole has that same exact mindset. He believes in bringing the youth through. We have 6 or 7 guys in our youth system right now who have the potential to be top players, as well as bringing other players in. So, like, the club is moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
If Ole gets back this summer, we bring in another center back, we bring in a holding mid, maybe a number 9 or a number 7. I think it's title or bust for us next season.
Okay. Someone clip that.
Clip
that
it.
shit. Clip it now.
Clip it, chat.
I want
Dude,
y'all to run this back.
4 months from now, when the league's coming up and we sign Declan Rice and Sancho, and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah?
I'm gonna be saying we're gonna win the league by 10 points, dude.
One thing I wanted to bring up about the game, because the penalty kicks, I think, were underplayed with what we were just talking about. The fact that they went that many PKs without missing, I thought was crazy. And I don't think I've ever seen before.
I could not
They
breathe.
went 11 penalty kicks not missing. And these are players that probably have never taken pens in their entire lives.
Dan James, top 10.
buried.
Oh my God.
And then the Villarreal goalkeeper, buried. Like, it was insane. But what I wanted to hit on was, I feel so much, as much as I was just talking about Kevin De Bruyne, I feel so bad for David De Gea.
Yeah. I mean,
Club legend. You would say he's a club legend.
oh, 100%.
Yeah, and to go, he's probably gone. And for that to be his last moment as a United player, I'm sorry, that hurts. Like, I feel awful.
And it's one of those where when you saw him go up, it's like,
You knew.
you knew.
He's never done that before, ever.
I almost think it's one of those, it's like, it's crazy because I don't even think he thought about taking one. You know what I mean? But what's crazy is then they showed, like, before your guys' game, you see videos of Ederson hitting pens in practice.
Burying them.
Leading up to that game, taking like 10 just. But it's the same thing.
That's
Like I think De Gea is gone, and like I hate for him to go out that way. But it's like 100% club legend. For 2 or 3 years, he was the best goalie in the world, the best player at Manchester United. Like, he deserves so much credit. Like for I mean, he came in with Sir Alex, and I mean, for a while he was our number 1 and Spain's number 1, and it was.
And that's when Spain was dominant.
Spain's was dominant. It was like between him and Neuer for who's the number 1 goalie in the world.
Absolutely.
And so it's like
just sucks the way that's how it
definitely
has to go.
sucks the way it's going to go out.
But I also think Villarreal got it right, and Unai Emery.
It's just a yellow submarine, dude. It's what
I wanted
they
to get
do.
Butch's take on it because he watches a lot more La Liga
I didn't
than
even
we
touch
do.
on Unai. Oh, fuck.
I know.
So I can go into Unai.
Yeah,
real quick.
let's
Unai Emery, guys. I want you to clip this chat. Unai Emery is the king of the Europa League.
Oh.
He's officially the king, man. That's his 5th Europa League title.
That's crazy.
Bro, Arsenal
His 5th.
was holding Unai back.
Bro, Arsenal.
Dude.
What a shit of a club. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, JP. Wow.
The fact that Arsenal sack him and he goes to Villarreal, they
Beat him.
They knock Arsenal out
In the semis.
and then he wins it.
With a way less talented team.
He wins it with well, first of all, I don't know if you know this about Villarreal. They're not financially backed very much.
No.
They don't have a lot of money to spend. They
Gotcha.
spent a little bit of money. They bought Parejo, the center mid, who came from Valencia. He was like Valencia Player of the Year for like 3 years in a row. He's a quality player. He's gotten some call-ups for Spain. But you look at their team, like they're Etienne Capoue in the middle. Like,
I want United to sign Torres,
oh,
the
dude,
defender.
Pau Torres.
He's an
quality.
absolute stud,
He's quality,
man.
He's also getting recruited by Barcelona. Pau Torres.
Well, there he goes.
Yeah,
Good
he
luck.
might be gone. But you look at this team, there's not a lot of money being backed into it. So I think that the fact that they did win it, like, it is a really cool story. That's their first ever trophy, and they win the Europa League against Man United. And I know this hurts your soul, but
It's like I get run over by a bus. Just put that thing in reverse and just back it straight up.
yeah, man. You know, like, and you know, you give credit to Emery, you give credit to the players for giving everything they had in that game. They were playing for their lives, man.
Were they a man down at one point?
They were not a man down. There was no red card.
What was I thinking of?
No, we just had
Okay, never
99% of possession.
It was just,
couldn't
yeah.
score.
It was just one of those games where I think you guys, unfortunately, United could not put the game away in 90 minutes. And the longer they kept Villarreal in the game,
momentum they had.
the more
the
belief.
belief.
Yes,
the more
yeah.
belief. They're like,
That's what
we
I
can
meant.
win this. If we go to PKs, it's a 50-50 flip.
What I was more upset at, and it's like a little detail. It's like if you look at Villarreal as they're getting ready to go into overtime in the second overtime, and they show the two teams. It's like they show Villarreal.
Yeah,
and
you
that's,
just see the demeanor.
well,
of
that
them.
whole entire team is like in a huddle. Unai Emery is sitting in the middle screaming because that's like his decorum as a manager.
Yeah.
Like Ole's a little bit different, and it's like the guys are sucking water, talking. Bruno's sitting there yelling a little bit. It's just like, I mean, you can tell these guys are going out there. They just think they should have already won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a little bit. I mean, obviously Villarreal, it's like their first trophy. They're going to have that, but when you want to win trophies, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You still have to put everything into it.
100%. But credit to them, man.
Yeah.
What a huge win for the club. 7th in La Liga, bro.
I'm fucking over it.
Dang,
I just wanted to sit there
I'm
for a little
fucking
bit and
over
let that soak. 7th in La Liga.
Hey, you know, positive vibes are up though. We're signing Declan Rice, Jadon Sancho, maybe Pau Torres. It's tied. It's treble or bust next year.
Treble.
So trouble or bust? That's what I was gonna say.
Yo, hold up.
What is next for United? So it's trouble or bust for you guys
No,
now?
no, it's not treble or bust. If
It's
we,
signings.
if we get signings, it's title or bust. Like everything that Ole's done is aside from, losing in some semifinals and some finals, not getting a trophy, like if you look at where United went from when he took over, it's like we went from barely hopping in the Champions League, moved up to a very clear second. Like this team is getting and starting to play better. Now we do need consistency. We need some more players. But if you watch United and you follow United, you can see the projects there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see with Marcus Rashford after the game, it's like he says it out loud. He's like, we believe in the manager. We believe in the project. We believe in what he's doing. It's like, I think that's all you can ask for. And so when people are sitting there like Ole out, it's like the players believe. Everyone's been playing with injuries as well, but no excuses. If we get back to the summer, I'm very, very confident that we're going to challenge for the title next year.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. And one thing that we didn't get to talk about that I wanted to bring up, you guys congratulated me, so I'm going to congratulate Butch on making top 4. I did not think it was
I can't
possible.
believe we haven't touched on how shite Chelsea was in the Prem.
But Liverpool, they snuck in, and I give you props. I didn't think you guys were going to be able to do it. We gave you a little help there,
It's
but
so unbelievable.
we're both in. So
Do we mention
Come on.
Leicester? I feel like we have to mention
They pulled a
Leicester.
Leicester, dude. Again, 3rd year in a row.
feel bad.
Because I almost, so much of me, it's like, I want to give Brendan Rodgers credit. Because
Yeah.
it's like, well, it's like you look at them, it's like they lose a bunch of players. They then recruit some more players, are still like top 6, 8 for the majority of their season. They're in the top 3.
I know. The stat
It's
you
the
sent.
final day.
They of all the teams in the Prem, they had the most time spent in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester, and they ended up 5th.
Why?
The fact that we,
Crazy.
Liverpool, finished 3rd
I know it's
over
insane.
Chelsea
Insane.
made my year.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
For all the crap we've gone through,
It is
The fact
that's
that we
what I'm
got
saying.
3rd,
I'm very impressed. As much as I've been talking shit on Liverpool, and I still think you guys didn't have the greatest season, but the fact that you finished 3rd and above us, like, congratulations, like that's big.
unreal.
While we're talking Prem, I guess, has it been announced, Player of the Year?
Has not been announced yet. The short list just came out for Player of the Year.
What's on it? Do you know?
I do know for a
I
fact
think it's
that
Rashford. Rashford's on there.
Ruben Diaz, De Bruyne, Harry Kane, Bruno Fernandes, Mo Salah. Yeah, I had to throw a little shout out to Mo. Mo's in there. There's a few more, but I think those are probably the 5 leading
That have a
contenders.
shot.
I will say that the one man who did not make it, and I was really mad when I saw this. Gundogan did not make
Gundogan.
it.
Really?
No.
Was it Sushek?
Jack Grealish.
Sushek,
Jack
I think, is in
there.
Grealish,
Sushek was
Harry
in there.
Kane,
Yeah, read
Mason
it.
Mount, Mo Salah, Suchek, and that's it. Well, of course, I missed Bruno, Diaz, De Bruyne.
How does Sushek make it over Gundogan? I don't understand that. Is it because they already had, two City players?
boys.
I genuinely think it's like because it's so much. This is like it's directly Prem, and I want to say Diaz is going to win it. Like
He should.
De Bruyne,
He will.
De Bruyne,
Harry Kane.
De Bruyne is in there. He's been class this season, but I don't think De Bruyne has been at his usual level the whole season. Like I would put Kane, Bruno, and Diaz all above Kevin De Bruyne. And
Absolutely.
I think Diaz is going to win.
those 3 are the.
I think it's a lot closer with Bruno than everybody is saying because he just broke the record for a midfielder in a Premier League season. So it's like, did Frank Lampard win the Premier League Player of the Year when that happened? Probably. So it's like
We also have to remember that there's 2 Player of the Year awards that they hand out. They have the PFA Player of the Year and then the Football Writers Player of the Year. And last year, Henderson won one of those 2, and then the other one was won by somebody else.
Yeah, because Henderson didn't deserve the other one in the first.
I also
place.
think
Stop the cap.
that Kane does have a good shot because
Absolutely.
He
his
does.
season was
What he did.
absolutely
We were just talking
unbelievable.
about the
It just
Ballon
sucks
d'Or.
that they just weren't. Even if they're not great, he was just. He's so fucking good.
Yep. And the fact that he might be going to City scares the heebie-jeebies out
If
of
that
me.
happens, man.
Dude.
Wait,
If Kane goes
Kane
to City,
City.
dude, we're all in trouble. We're all
I
in
think
trouble.
if we make a big signing, I think we're competing. But that's just me.
I think I don't think that Harry Kane necessarily like. I think that most teams, I even think Liverpool, most teams are going to make some signings.
I was
Most teams
just
are
about
gonna
to say.
get more
I think our
competitive.
this next season coming up is going to be
Virgil-
just as
Virgil
crazy.
back.
Yes.
You guys spending money, us pray to
'Cause-
God we spend money.
Well, and look at
knows?
Europe. Look at the Europe.
Yeah.
Look at the final. City versus Chelsea. United in the Europa League final. People want to come to England right now. They want to play for the Premier League. So
Yeah.
I think this summer is going to be huge, and I think teams are going to be very, very good next year.
I think the underlying thing that the news just broke either today. How about Ancelotti just coming into Everton and being like, peace, I'm going back to Real, bringing James with him, and now he's gone.
Do you blame him though?
No, not even
No
a little
way. I'm all for it. Like, he's one of my favorite coaches ever. I think he's absolutely an amazing coach.
Yeah.
One of the best managers in the world. The fact that Real wants him back, I'd have been like, Everton, sayonara.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm going back to one of the biggest clubs in the world.
So where do you think Zidane goes?
I think it takes a year off, in my opinion.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think that I could definitely see that happening. He stays home with family, relaxes, kind of figures out what he wants to do.
I mean, you win back-to-back Champions Leagues. You're at the only club where, like, Real Madrid, you were 2 points off the title again this year. You were in the Champions League semifinal.
Yeah.
Like, for most clubs, if I'm United, I'm like, all right, on to next year. That's a good year, folks. But, like, Real Madrid, it's not
a good year.
That's not how
you
it
have no
is.
trophies.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like not like Pep's not Pep. Zidane's a great coach, but I just think that he's not
It's a
going to walk
different
into any
level, yeah.
project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to walk into something where he can sink his teeth into.
So I think this is a great time for us to transition into the Euros.
Absolutely.
So we've got the Euro 2021 starting in
9 days.
about 9 days,
8 days now.
8 days. And we have been waiting for over a year for this. You know, last year getting canceled broke our hearts because we had no summer football.
I'm so excited for this.
So pumped.
So I think we should start off. Let's kind of break down the groups a little bit because
Okay.
there's some groups that
Have
are
them.
really enticing. There's some groups that are a little average.
Can I tell you before we start, we should go dive into it. I think the one thing that frustrates me about the Euros is that each group, 3 teams qualify.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Each group, 3 teams qualify.
Wait.
Yes. So that's why it's a little frustrating. There's still great games, but it's like,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Why is everyone?
It's because the number of teams in a Euro
Yes.
is less than a normal World Cup.
yeah.
Got you.
So
You
that's
need
why.
that for the bracket
That's
play.
what's kind of frustrating. But anyway, let's go.
Oh, I don't like that at
Yeah,
all.
neither do I.
That changes my whole outlook. On
So
some
our
of these
first
groups.
group, we have Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales in Group A. And in my opinion, this is actually a pretty enticing group because
agree.
Dobes and I were
Switzerland.
talking about Turkey.
Dark horse.
Turkey, man.
Really?
Dark horse.
I'm telling you, their defense is solid. They have a great spine in the middle of the field. And their striker, Yilmaz, just won Ligue 1 with Lille
Oh,
Didn't he
yes.
he had like,
and
it's
scored
like 16 goals.
and
Yeah.
5 assists. He's 35.
Holy cow.
It was like in 29 games or something like
It's
that.
unreal. And
Wow.
he's in fire form, and he's about to come in.
By no means do I think that like they're going to go on and win the tournament.
Yeah, but you think they could possibly get out
But
of this group?
if they somehow win the group and like
Yeah.
they get a favorable game,
They
like,
could win this group.
They could find themselves in the quarters or semis like
oh,
that.
yeah. They could win this group. I mean, I think I was telling Dopes for the podcast, my dark horse for the tournament is Italy. And it's weird saying that they're a dark horse because
That
they're a
is super
historic
weird.
country. But it's because they're such a young team. A lot of those older players are out. They've
Yeah.
phased out.
All the defenders.
Roberto Mancini, their coach, is phasing in these younger players. He's playing a faster, quicker group, but they're very talented.
It's so weird to look at Italy as like a dark horse. 'Cause
Yeah.
we've
When he
always
said
known
that,
them
I was
we've-
like, wow.
We've always
They
known
are.
them as the powerhouse, but it's kind of like they're going through that new generation right now.
Yeah,
to where-
but see, I think at the end of the day, they're winning Group A. Like we say dark horse, but I think they're gonna win Group A.
dude, them playing Turkey, and here we are not even mentioning Gareth Bale
I know.
and Wales. But
well, the fact that Daniel James goes off the bench is just all I need to know.
I hate to say it. If I'm predicting this, I think Wales doesn't make it out.
I think it's gonna be Italy, Switzerland in my.
I think
Wales doesn't get out
I think
'cause
we
it's
should just
3.
go through this and pick who you think the group winner is going to be.
Okay, I think Italy.
Italy as well.
My gut wants to say Turkey.
I'm fully confidently saying Turkey.
I'm gonna say Turkey.
I can see them playing Italy and it being Italy's
tie
very,
or something?
Well, Italy's a very good like defensive team. Turkey's a very defensive team. I could see 1-1, 2-2. They get
Yeah.
a point. Like,
And then
I'm
goal
going
differential
Turkey.
or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I could by all means. And I don't know enough about Turkey to disagree or agree with you guys.
Well, Group B is a lot different.
Yeah,
than Group
I was gonna
A.
say we should
So-
all have the same answer.
Yeah, we've got Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. A few decent teams, but obviously we have a standout. I think we can all kind of.
I think Belgium's starting to every major tournament like for the last couple of years they've gotten themselves kind of out of the dark horse and more of like they're
They're a namesake.
They're one of the favorites now.
But one thing I forgot who I was talking to about. I think this tournament and the next World Cup is probably Belgium's last chance to win anything anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because their youth isn't as good as the big clubs or the big countries like Spain and Brazil and where all these youth is happening. They don't have that.
I mean, I'm sitting here looking at some of the players in this group, and it's like you look at Kevin De Bruyne, Hazard,
absolutely.
Lukaku, like Courtois, your goalie, Axel Witsel, Yuri Tielemans, who was brilliant this year, like
Dries
Mertens, like, and then you look at like Vertonghen, like some other veterans as like their back line, like
They're getting old.
They are, but they're still in their golden era.
I agree. That's what I was saying though. Right now, and I think they have a lot of pressure on them, like secretly, like from Belgium as a country. Like I think they need to win, and they need to win now so they can show that they're able to compete at that level. I love Roberto Martinez, the coach. Watching him in the pregame
He's
and
a great analyst.
the halftime,
He's
he
great.
is incredible. I love his mind. So I wish him all the best, just purely based on that. I think he's a really good dude, and he has a lot of like core values in the game that I agree with, and I hope they do well.
So 3 for 3, we're going to go Belgium.
Absolutely.
That's a lock in my opinion.
Group C gets a little bit different.
Potentially.
Austria, Netherlands, North Macedonia, and Ukraine.
I will tell you, I don't know if you guys have watched much of Netherlands in the last this last week or like even those previous games. They haven't looked
poor.
Great.
No,
very,
have not looked
very
great.
poor.
Have not looked great.
Ever since they got rid of Koeman and he went to Barcelona.
Like, and no hate on Scotland, but like they barely got themselves a draw yesterday against Scotland. Like a 2-2, I think it was like an 84th minute goal.
Your boy Scotty
to tie the game, and it's
Robble.
like, but like look at when you break down like the Netherlands, it's like the fact that Van Dijk's not going to be there for them. It's like
huge.
They have Van Dijk. It's like
they almost could possibly win.
One of the
Isn't that crazy?
You know what's crazy though is they still have Matthias de Ligt, Stefan de Vrij, and Daley Blind as center backs though.
I was going to say
not bad.
I'm happy you mentioned their poor performance because I saw it as well. But at the end of the day, I think out of this group, I think they're advancing.
It's one of those. I just don't think that they're.
Oh, I don't think they're going to be a title contender by no means. But I think they're getting out of that group ahead of everyone.
Yeah,
they still have some players.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
Memphis Depay is playing great football right now.
I mean, a Wijnaldum, Frankie
De Jong.
midfield too.
So we can go 3 for 3 there. They're definitely. I think they're gonna win.
All
the
right,
group.
I can't. I'm super. Group D.
Group D.
All right, so it's Croatia, Czech Republic, England, and Scotland.
So this is a little enticing because
enticing.
We know about how good Croatia was
it's a rematch.
In the World Cup.
It's a rematch.
Yep. I will say Croatia will not have Ivan Rakitic. He has retired from international play. And you guys know I love that man.
Oh, he's very good.
He was so good in his prime.
Crucial part
of
Croatia.
They still have some quality. Obviously, they've got Luka. They've got Brozovic. They've got Perisic, Kovacic. They've got your boy Kovacic. But Dobes, let's go in depth. Dobes, tell us about England. Tell us about England here.
Let's keep
What are you thinking? Trent is out.
So Trent's out.
Trent was out regardless. So
Southgate just released his 26. There's a few surprises. I mean, I'll give my surprises. I was surprised that James Ward-Prowse.
I think that is so underrated.
It's the fact that it's like you look at it, it's like everybody says it. He's David Beckham levels of a free kick taker.
I completely agree with you.
And so it's like to have somebody. I mean, you look who else? I mean, yeah, there's some guys that hit some free kicks for England, but like dead balls and set pieces win you tournaments. Mm-hmm. And so it's like the fact that Southgate chose to go with 4. And he
chose Trent for set pieces.
At this current moment right now, we don't know who's potentially going to replace Trent.
I know, but
probably James Ward-Prowse.
So it's probably going to be Ward-Prowse.
I hope.
So he may end up going. But the fact that Southgate chose to take 4 right backs before Trent got hurt over like a Ward-Prowse, brought a Saka instead of a Lingard. The one I'm super happy about is Jude Bellingham.
I agree.
That man's a player.
I think
he's quality.
He could step in now. But I think the biggest thing about England is we're going to see them play 5 at the back.
Yes.
And I don't know how English fans feel about that.
They're going to find out.
I think it's either going to be great or it's going to be tragic. So I don't know. I'm not confident in them winning this group, to be honest.
And just piggybacking off what you said, I think the whole Ward-Prowse thing is absurd. I think the man should be on the field. He is that good on dead balls that I think he should be in your starting 11.
The issues. Okay, so then break down those center midfielders.
That's hard though.
Who's the odd guy out?
I don't think it matters. He's like we were just talking. He's Beckham level-esque on his free kicks.
He could be
if you compare the stats to free kick accuracy and all that stuff, he is very close to David Beckham.
I don't think he should start.
He can win you a game.
Well,
He's
a great guy to bring in with 30 minutes left if you need a goal.
Okay, but he was cut.
But I'm saying, like, if he comes now with Trent being hurt, if they
still
take
think
him,
it's a slap in the face.
I don't think so.
He
dude.
can't play over Mount, Declan Rice,
as
and
far as-
Grealish.
I put him at right back.
Well, as far as starting 11,
Cap.
So
Are you kidding
If
me?
we're playing 5 in the back, put him at wing back.
Nah, break it down real quick because this is how most likely if they're playing 5 at the back, England is going to go. It's going to be Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, John Stones, either Reece James or Kyle Walker,
And then
Hendo, Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Kane, either
Foden
on one
Grealish,
side or
Grealish.
most likely Grealish on the other side. I would even
Sterling.
say that Sancho will probably start over Foden just because of his form, but they could.
Did you say Hendo?
I guarantee you,
Promise you, he's playing.
Hendo's gonna do. When you play 5 at the back like that, that spine of him and Declan Rice.
It's gonna be tough to break
I
down.
would do Declan Mount and then put Foden.
It probably depends on who they play, but at the same
Because
time,
Mount's played that for Chelsea this whole year.
I think the biggest thing is you look at Ward Prowse is like Hendo's coming off of injuries.
Yeah.
Like I think that's
Hendo's
the
just
biggest
a cap
like,
in
yeah.
general, but we can move on.
But for England, he's gonna
All right. So give me your picks, Nick. Who's winning the group?
England.
Dopes.
go. Let me go last.
All right. I'm gonna go with England as well. I will say barely. I think they'll barely get by Croatia.
That was going to be my next statement is, they make it out of this group, but they don't go far, and Southgate is gone.
All right, I'll go with you guys. I'll take England. But what I will say about this group is I bet you this group from top to bottom is closer than we think.
Oh, I think – and
It's gonna be tough.
Like I think
Completely agree.
Scotland could beat Czech Republic. That's going to be a
absolutely.
great. That's going to
Croatia
be a
could
great.
pull out a game.
I
Look
think
what they
this-
did in the World Cup.
What do you think? Like 7 points wins the group.
Possible.
6 points wins the
6 maybe.
6 maybe wins the group.
Yeah.
Like
Could come down to
Two
I don't-
wins.
I don't-
You get 2 wins, you're looking good.
yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously 3 teams get in, but to win the group, I think maybe 7
Yeah,
points wins you that group.
Absolutely. But
Group E.
I was about to say, as crazy close as you think this one is, I think this next one is crazy close.
These
and
are my
people-
boys here.
And people don't realize.
So Group E, we've got Poland,
Lawa.
Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden.
Oh,
We'll highlight Sweden will not have Ibrahimovic. He is hurt and will
Such
miss
a
the
shame.
tournament. It is
He
a
would have
shame.
been electric.
it would have
this
been just fun to
Could
watch.
you imagine an Ibra goal? Not just an Ibra goal, but the celebration from Ibra
Oh,
after he
man.
scored a goal
Would
for
be
Sweden.
nuts. Obviously, if we break down Poland, they have some quality. And they have the most informed number 9 in world football, and Robert Lewandowski.
Arguably the Ballon d'Or winner.
Arguably, yes.
He's good. He's good for I don't know.
A goal a game.
I don't know if he's my favorite for Golden Boot because I don't think they'll get that far, but he's in the conversation.
So my factor cap is going to be Golden Boot
Okay,
Euro. So
okay.
we'll save that because I've got somebody.
Okay.
Slovakia, don't know much about in terms of how many quality players they have, but they could put up a fight maybe
I was
against
gonna say-
Sweden.
Give us the breakdown of Spain.
Okay. Well,
Go in.
these
No,
are my-
first of all, I'll
Que
say
pasa?
no Sergio. First time there's no Real Madrid players in the Spanish
Sergio
team.
Ramos.
no Ramos. So I was actually sitting on my phone because they had a press conference with Luis Enrique, my twin, and I was refreshing because I'm like, release the damn squad.
Yeah.
So then he releases it, and my jaw hits the floor. I'm like, where's Sergio Ramos? And then Ramos sends out an Instagram note saying he's hurt and he's devastated, but he's not going to play. I don't know if many of you listeners know this, but Aymeric Laporte is
Yeah, that's
French
awesome.
with Spanish blood in his family.
I'm so upset
He
about
just
it.
got declared a Spanish citizen, and he gets
Doesn't
called
matter
up.
for France.
His first cap will be
I
in
wanted
the
him to
Euro.
play.
Yeah, that's
though.
wild. His first cap for Spain.
He's going to play
Oh,
because he's
absolutely.
unbelievably
He's
good.
Very good.
But the defense is what scares me without Ramos, the leader. And we will have Jordi Alba, we'll have Laporte, we'll have Pau Torres, who I love. But one other person I was really surprised about, and I don't know much if he's hurt or not, they didn't call up Carvajal.
Yeah, I saw that.
He didn't get called up.
Wow.
So
Age, you think?
he's only 29.
Is a little bit of what's his name's the coach? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
Enrique?
Enrique's the coach. Is there a little bit of bias there?
Could be.
It's Spain. Like that could be very much a real thing.
Could be.
Absolutely.
Their midfield's going to be incredibly good. They'll have, Koke, Busquets, Thiago, Fabian, who I love from Napoli.
Love that you said Thiago. That man's garbage.
Yeah, but he's
Just
the
wait
same-
till he balls out in
yeah,
Spain.
He's the same guy that could just become the best midfielder in the world for Spain.
So up front, they're going to have Morata, the number 9 from Villarreal, 22 goals in La Liga, 5 assists. Gerard Moreno had a baller season. He might even start over Morata. And then they'll have Ferran Torres, who we love from City, Oyarzabal. They'll have some options. They'll have some good players. No Isco, no Iago Aspas.
No
Guys that were
Piqué.
doing well. No, Piqué retired after the
yeah.
World Cup, but it's a new generation of Spain. And one player that I'm going to highlight, mark my words, he will be possibly Spain's player of the tournament, Marcos Llorente from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
That
He's
man
special.
can play any position
Yeah, he's special.
on the field, and he's an 8 out of 10 performance every
You
game.
know what you're going to get from him every single time he plays.
Absolutely.
13 goals, 12 assists in the lead to Atletico's La Liga triumph.
Yep. Winning La Liga.
This man was a center mid, and Simeone said, "I'm gonna put you up top." The man scored 13 goals. What?
Yeah. To be able to transition like that, you got to be a baller.
I'm saying he's gonna be wearing the number
All right,
6. So
who's winning?
I was gonna say.
Spain.
So
He's
you
out.
think-
Yeah, he's
I'm
gonna
picking
take
Spain.
I think Spain's gonna win as well. I think Poland and Spain may come down to goal differential at the end, but I think Spain will advance or be the top of the group.
looks like you want to say Poland.
I do, but at the same time, it's like I've watched Poland play, and I could easily see them dropping points to like Slovakia
Exactly.
or
You never know.
losing to Sweden or something like that. Because Lewandowski's great, but at the same time, he's got to get some serve it. Like I'm gonna go Poland. I'm gonna put my balls on the table.
Love that.
I'm going
Because
Poland.
one thing I was gonna say is, yeah, I'm picking Spain. I don't think they're going far. I think
the
they're
better
too young.
question
I think
is, do
they're
we think
inexperienced, and we'll
Slovakia's
see.
get knocked out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Last group is the
Juiciest
group
group.
of death.
Juiciest group.
We've
Sheesh.
got France, Germany, Portugal, and Hungary. Wow. Wow.
That's
So-
the 3 games are just gonna be oh my
Oh,
god.
I can't wait. So who do we want to start with here? Do we want to start with France?
I was gonna say I can go into France.
No, I know the first thing that needs to be mentioned when we talk about France is Karim fucking Benzema.
What
Absolutely,
a
that was gonna be the
baller.
first thing I brought
I
to
don't
attention.
know if you guys watched France play yesterday. He didn't score and he missed a pen, and he was still unbelievable.
He's incredible.
Like Mbappe, Griezmann, and Benzema is might be the best 3 in the front 3 in the tournament.
Oh,
I was just
He's you bring in a experienced world class striker and you add it to the team that just won the World
Yep.
Cup, lost in the last Euro final.
Yep.
And you
You're
add
taking the
Karim-
words. You're taking the words right out of my
and
mouth.
you add Karim Benzema.
The fact that we just added, or they just added a world class. I said we because I think they're my team, but
So
they're really
stupid.
not. Sorry, I only like them because of Paul. But what you said it perfectly. The World Cup champions, their squad is already elite, and then they bring in someone who hasn't played for France in years and is probably, arguably, almost in his prime right now. The way he's been playing of recent, and with Karim Benzema, and I can't I don't. It's hard for me to fathom not picking France winning the whole thing.
I think in
With
my
the
opinion,
squad that they
in my opinion,
have.
they're the I want to say clear favorite.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was a little interested in with this is one person that they didn't bring was whatever his name
Upamecano.
is. Upamecano.
Did he
They didn't
play
bring him.
for the
U21.
Yeah, they didn't bring
And they
him.
lost.
And I was kind of surprised by that because I thought him being a youngster, I thought it would be a good time for him. But at the same time, I'm looking at these defenders that the
Koundé.
France team brought, and oh my gosh, it's all stacked. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Kurt Zuma. He made the squad. I think he had an incredible freaking year.
Can I please shout out Paul Pogba for making the French squad?
No, but Kurt Zuma, I think he has been through a lot at Chelsea, and he found form. He had the second
He's
most
good for a
goals in our
header. He's
squad
good for a header.
with 6, and I think he deserves it. But talking about this France team, there's only one thing I need to say. Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante have not lost a game when they've started together. That's all I need to say. They're both on the side. They're both incredible. I don't think France is losing.
Pogba is my dark horse for player of the tournament.
Ooh.
See, I don't even think
Hot
that's
take.
a dark horse. But
It is though, because it's like for United, he has been so inconsistent. But it's like he puts on the France shirt, and it's just like
He's a different breed.
I'm playing next to the best players in the world.
He has N'Golo Kante sitting for him.
Well,
the man can do whatever the hell he wants.
I just think he aside from the fucking Europa League final, he shines in big moments.
Yeah.
You know, like the World
Cup final,
games
scored a
against
goal.
Man City, big games. Paul Pogba usually shows up.
Yep. Another person that I was really impressed with, and I thought he got a lot of hype in the World Cup, and I'm really excited to see him play, is Benjamin Pavard. He's the right back for France. He played with Bayern Munich this past year. He scored that worldie of a goal, and I think a lot of people were hyping him up, and I was like still on the edge of like, is he really going to be a quality right back for France? And I thought he played incredible for Bayern Munich this past year, and I'm really excited to see him play.
Okay. Next up, break down Germany a little bit. You know, they are the
Germany's
team of
interesting this
Very
Euro
interesting.
round.
they're the team of veterans. You know, they've got some very well. They have a good mix of youth too. But
I was going to say Kai Havertz is getting in that squad.
But if we're talking veterans, let's look at a huge decision that Joachim Löw, the manager, made. He brought back Thomas Muller and Mats Hummels.
I always think it's like because it's before what's his name, the Bayern coach. I can't think of his name right now. Because this is his last go around at the Euros. Before what is his name? It's gonna
Joachim Löw,
no, the head coach of Bayern is taking
Hansi
over.
Flick.
Hansi Flick. So this is Löw's last time, like with a squad. It almost feel like you kind of have to take Muller. It's like the last go around, you know. Plus, Thomas Muller's been an absolute baller this season.
Oh, baller. He literally is wine. He gets better with age. Blows my mind.
They're going to be a team that I think they're going to go far. I really do. I do. Because
Sané, Gundogan.
look at their midfield:
Werner.
Gundogan, Kroos, and Kimmich.
Well, Timo's your starting striker. Their starting
Cap,
striker.
Muller. I'm putting Timo fourth string after this
I'm
season.
interested, and I don't know enough about the Germany team. Who are their center backs going to be?
Hummels.
You think?
And well, yeah, he's coming back. He's starting.
I mean, yeah,
for sure.
but
Hummels and
Rudiger.
possibly Rudiger or Nicolas
Who's been
Sula.
playing quality.
Nicolas Sula, the Bayern guy.
Yeah, but he plays so well in the back five.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think Germany's
You're
gonna
right.
play
You
back
may be right
five.
with that.
They're going to have some experience in the back with Hummels if they. I think they need to play him, but obviously you got the brick wall in goal, Manuel Neuer.
I feel so
So-
bad for Ter Stegen.
Oh yeah, he'll never play.
Poor guy.
That poor guy.
poor guy's
He'll
just
never play.
praying Muller gets hurt, or not Muller, excuse me, that
Neuer.
Gets hurt or retires.
Shout out to my colleague, by the way, who's German himself. This is his last pod. He's our number one fan. This guy, his name's Matt Hildebrand. He's our number one fan for the Mecca of Banter. Listens to every single episode at 7 a.m.
Shout
on
out.
the way to work.
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
Big shout
So
out.
shout out to you, man. He's moving to Oregon. He's leaving Eureka High,
Ah,
and I wanted to give him a shout out because this is his team, man. And
too bad they're
This is
losing after group stage.
But this is another one where it's like in this tournament, in my opinion, Germany is a dark horse.
yeah.
they're gonna be a team that's
Like I think if you look at the favorites, we're getting ready to talk about another one. In my opinion, it's like Germany's a dark horse. Like I don't think they're expected much, which I think for teams like Germany is a fucking good thing.
they
Yeah.
got Gnabry
When
and
you
Sané.
don't have expectations, everything you do is overperforming at that point. You know what I mean?
And it's funny you mention that because my dark horse is the next team on that
Oh,
list.
dude, I think they're a favorite.
With
Portugal?
no, with Hungary.
Hungry.
I
Get out of here.
truly believe that Hungary is advancing out of that group.
Chat, clip it.
And I think
Please clip
it's between Portugal and Germany who are not going to make it out of group stages. Hungary is 7-0 in their last seven games.
That's going to come down to Germany-Hungary. That game is what I'm saying is going to decide.
And it's kind of what you just said. Hungary has 0 to lose. Absolutely nothing. They lose, they don't advance. It's all hunky dory. The pressure is on Portugal and Germany to perform in those games, and I'm telling you, I think Hungary's advancing.
Couldn't name a single player.
I can name their age.
Not only can
Cap.
not only can I not say I can't pronounce any of these names.
Yeah, that's tough. But
They're advancing.
that's a big hot take. But let's go into Portugal.
Let's.
What a squad they're gonna have of informed players, and obviously they're gonna be captained by none other than
If Cristiano
Bruno
Ronaldo,
Fernandes.
Cristiano Ronaldo, and people can talk trash on us. We all know our thoughts on Cristiano Ronaldo. I truly believe if he plays and starts on that team, which he will, he makes them worse. They are a worse team with Cristiano Ronaldo on the field because it's not free flowing. They're trying to target him, and it's not. I truly believe that's why if I were to pick between Germany and Portugal, I think Portugal is not advancing.
So let me ask, do you think personally do you think he should have retired after the World Cup from Portugal?
I think he should have retired after the Euros. I think he should have won and dipped. But at the same time, I still think he's a quality player. But I think the mindset when he's on the field completely changes and it makes a team worse. And I don't think he wants to go away from that just yet. And I think it hurts Portugal.
That's facts. But let me tell you something right now. Let me ask you a question. When does Cristiano Ronaldo shine his most?
You're right. When the most pressure and all the cameras on.
Biggest games in the world.
Everything is on him.
As much as I've just talked shit on Cristiano Ronaldo, he is the second greatest player of all time. I will never not say that.
It's one of those where I do think that if, say, maybe they tie their first game or something like that, he doesn't play well, the pressure starts.
See him take over.
The pressure starts to mount on him. Then, you know what I mean? It's like, do they look fluid with him? Do they not? But it's with the squad that they have around him, they're going to go through. And I genuinely think that if they can click, they have a shot to make a deep run.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If Ronaldo played a role in their team and wasn't trying to be the superstar still, I think he will. Mm-hmm. I agree. I think they would go super far. Their squad, I said this when we were talking about them earlier, a couple podcasts ago, they were in my top 3. I think their squad is insane, but I truly believe after the year at Juventus, Cristiano Ronaldo is making teams worse, and I hate to say that.
What do you think? I'm going to ask you this. What do you think is going to happen with a Pepe Ruben Diaz center back pairing?
Well, it's a mix of extreme youth, Ruben Diaz, and a guy who's 38 years old, Pepe, who's been around and done it.
And Pepe's still good. I don't know if you remember when he was in the Champions League. That man balled out.
It's going to be one of those things where I think this man right here, Ruben Diaz, the pressure is going to be absolutely immense on his shoulders.
He has to,
especially after his performance that he just had. In the Champions,
what did he call himself? Didn't he call himself the best player, the best defender in the world? Because he's like, what did he say? You have to think that about yourself in order to be it.
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, that in this tournament, you don't have John Stones next to you. You're not playing in a city system where you're thriving with. You're going to have 85% possession. There's going to be situations where he's going to be caught in one-on-one situation, and he's going to have to show that he's a fucking good defender.
Absolutely.
Because if not, this tournament is a huge turning point in his career.
Absolutely.
It's either straight up or it's straight back down, in my opinion. He
He
put it on himself, though.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right. We've talked about all the groups. Who do we think's winning this one? Sorry, we didn't discuss. I truly believe France is winning all 3 games. That's how good I think they are.
I'm going to say France is going to win because they have a squad. I don't think they win all 3 games.
Okay.
I say France wins the group as well, but I think Germany makes it close.
Okay. All right. Last take on Euros before we go to Factor Cap. Who do we think's winning, and who do we think's going to be player of the tournament, and who do we think's going to win Golden Boot? Those 3 things. Ready for mine? France is winning the tournament. I think Mbappe is going to get the Golden Boot. And I think N'Golo Kante is winning player of the tournament.
Yo, if he wins player of the tournament, put him in that top 3 Ballon d'Or.
No, he wins.
Dude.
He wins. No, I mean, that ass serious. France wins the Euros, and he's has a masterclass as we expect him to. You give him the fucking trophy.
Love it. That's what I want, and that's my take. Keep going.
Go, please, man.
Winner of the tournament, I'm going to pick. I'm not going to show any bias. I'm going to be real. France.
I thought he was about to say that, then hit me with Spain. I was about to smack
you. Now I wish I would have gone because you guys, this can't be boring. I'm going nuts on the table.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to change it. Hold it, chat. I'm going to change it. I'm going to go with my team then. I'm going to say Spain because they're in my semifinals.
Very confident over here.
I'm going Spain. Spain wins it. Golden Boot. I can't. That's my that's my Factor Cap. I gotta hold it.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna hold my Golden Boot.
I know who it is, and he's gonna be so pissed because I'm gonna say he's gonna win the Golden Boot.
My Factor Cap. I'm gonna hold, and then player of the tournament. If Spain wins it, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
He's gonna say Thiago.
You're Thiago.
Give him a cap right now. Put that on your head.
That's mine. Little hot take for you guys. Dopes.
So much me wants to be like Portugal Bruno. I genuinely really believe France is going to win. And I believe that not only because they have the best roster in the world, they've been there, they've done that together, but like he's my Golden Boot winner. And I'm sorry, Butch, if I ruined your factor cap, but like, I think Kareem Benzema is going to come back and I think he's going to score a fuck ton of goals, dude.
That makes me so happy.
It's not mine.
Okay, good. Because I genuinely think.
Do you think he'll win player of the tournament too?
No, I don't. I think it's going to be one of those where if France does win, it's like, that's why I said Paul Pogba, like maybe a Conte. I mean,
Paul will never win it because they never give him credit.
But this is another one where it's like so if I'm saying Benzema's going to win, I could see Mbappe being the player of the tournament. I could see him having 3 goals, 4 assists, something crazy, something
in
like
the final or something.
Just, I mean,
and I can also see the losing team's best player, like maybe like almost like a Thiago having a great game, like kind of like what Modric did in the last World Cup. I could see that as well.
So I don't know. That's France is just, it's too good for me not to say they're going to win.
Mm-hmm. Player of the tournament.
I hate this. I don't want to put pressure on him, but I'm going to say Paul Pogba.
Love that. That makes me so hyped.
I am he's got confidence back. You see him with United, you see him with France. He's got his swagger back.
When you have N'Golo Kante behind you,
he's fucking ready to go, dude. Like, I don't know. All right,
let's get it.
All
Factor cap, baby.
Second ever factor cap, guys. And I'm not gonna lie, I might get a lot of caps thrown at me on this one. So
yeah, United should have won if he fucking says
no,
that.
no. It's Golden Boot. Okay. So the Euro. This person will win Golden Boot. Fact or cap? Antoine Griezmann.
A cap. That's easy for
5
me.
goals in the last Euro, 5 goals in the last World Cup.
Cap.
Why is it a cap?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Kareem Benzema was not on the pitch with that when he was.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You said cap way too fast.
Yeah, hold on, dude. You got to
that was some disrespect.
Think about how good this man is with France.
Bro, but here's the thing: is you saying cap that quick? It's like any one of those front 3 could simply win the Golden Boot because they're playing with each other.
Does Griezmann even start?
Are you?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god, who's start? Oh my, this guy's
Nick.
fucking,
I'm gonna smack you.
Yeah, we're capping.
Coman?
We're capping Nick right now.
Yeah.
Coman, Mbappe, Benzema.
No.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Griezmann, who was in form for the majority of the end of the season for Barcelona,
yeah,
who has always been a baller for France, is. God, this
in his prime? Are you kidding me?
So what are you saying? Back to cap.
Say
it now. Say it.
Okay, the
Give
difference
me the shit and say it
The
now.
difference is
unreal.
Fact.
Unreal.
He's my Golden Boot. He's my Golden Boot pick.
Say it.
I'm gonna say cap.
Thank you. Exactly. All
but
that
at least
bullshit.
He has some respect on his name.
But you're like, is Griezmann cap? Like, are you fucking kidding?
I don't think it's happening.
Dude, like you said, 5 goals Euros, 5 goals World Cup.
Come on, bro.
Biggest stage, he's done that. Biggest tournaments, he's done that.
We'll see.
So why is it a cap though for you?
Simply because I think that he's going to be more of a provider in this World Cup.
Okay.
Like when you have a Kareem,
He'll have a lot of assists.
Yeah, when you have a Kareem Benzema up top, it's like he's obviously. I mean, God, it's so tough. I'm literally sitting there between those front 3. It's like,
all 3
it's
of them.
because I watched Benzema in tight space yesterday, like receive the ball and all of a sudden like
find
Mbappe on the 6-yard box. It's like any one of those guys can win it. But like I'm capping just because I think that like it's gonna be Benzema and Mbappe.
Okay. I mean, it was a hot take, so.
Was that the only one you had?
That's the one I've got today.
Alrighty.
Today.
So we do hot takes. I kind of have a hot take.
All right. Do you want to end it on a nice little hot take?
It's not a hot take, but it's like right now the U.S. is currently playing their first round qualifiers the semifinal of the Nations League against Honduras. When you guys listen to this next Wednesday, the United States has beaten Mexico this upcoming Sunday, and we won the Nations League.
Love to hear that. Woo. Hey, them USA boys, CP behind the wheel. Let's get it done. All righty. Sure. Thank you all for listening.
Subscribe, like, repost.
And Chelsea is the best team in the world.
God,
cheers.
I cannot wait for the Euros to start.
Cheers.
Absolute cap.